Alright, well, I'm gonna make a video on Combiner vs. Defensor over here. Now, as you can tell from here, I'm a Transformer collector. I buy a ton of stuff. This is only like 40% of my, no, 45%, 46 my collection. As you can see, I have another Combiner vs. toy over there. Oh, fully complete. Hasbro completed. Yes. That's not the point. Alright, I want to talk about this guy right here. Now, obviously, I have the configurations a bit differently. Honestly, I would like put Rook as norm, but I just had this configuration. I don't feel like changing it right now. Anyways, let's talk about this. Alright, so initially in Combiner Wars, like everybody else, I was all in. I don't think it's a bad line, I just think it's a lazy line. You know, 2 waves that could have gone to something more appropriate or better were wasted on cash-ins, I guess you could say. Such a sad thing. Until we only got 4 major combiners, but in my opinion, I don't really give a shit about Computron, Predaking. Well, Predaking is cool, but I don't really give a shit about him. I actually think I forget who the Abominus. I like Abominus's looks. I like the aesthetics of them, but I don't really give a shit about them because. Well, actually, the Predacons I give a shit about because they had characterizations, unlike those other 2. And there's probably like more, but I don't remember them or care because only season 1 and 2 was. I didn't care about Transformers G1. Anyways, back to this toy. This isn't my preferred configuration, but like this looks okay. Now, I don't usually mind the normal proportions at all. Like, I like the Defensor aesthetics of this toy. The only thing I don't like is that the head doesn't go all the way down and there's like these gaps right there. Like, I wouldn't mind those flaps, but there are gaps. If they would have found a way to fill in those gaps, I would have loved this toy a lot more than I do. Now, aside from that, quality really like lets this figure down, and that's really hard to say because I wanted this. As you can see, I got every single piece. I even got Groove, but I hate tabbing them in because it's annoying, and my Groove's a bit flimsy. He's right there. So, anyways, here it is. This is my Defensor configuration. I don't do the stupid bending like that, like in the official transformation, because I think that looks better. And even I know it restricts articulation, but even if you could articulate it, it wouldn't stay in that pose because you know there's no ankle tilts on those feet; they're just dull. All right, I got 1 foot right there. As you can see, that's Blade's foot right there as well, because Blade's is a repaint with a new head. As you can see, this is it. No ankle tilt. It's not even that big. I'm shocked any of these things could send. Venusaur barely sends with those little ass feet he has. Anyways, so as you can see, here is Defensor. Now, if you just leave him on a shelf, he looks nice in my opinion. You know, I don't really mind, you know, certain things, you know, like the gaps in between the arms right there, there. I don't really mind no filling for the torso. I don't mind that though. These are unforgivable. But, you know, I want to talk about this. Like, if you're a collector that constantly transforms figures, like I do, I transform the fuck out of these, at least once a day. I've had the, like, in total, all these. Him, maybe like 2 weeks. No, a week. Him, 3 months. Yeah, about 3 or 4 months. Him, a month. Him, a little bit less than a month, maybe 3 weeks. Him, a month. No, 3 months I've had, and then Groove, I've had him for 3 months too. It's a weird thing. Retail didn't have these 3, I bought them all. Anyways, that's not the point. So let me go over the terribleness of, no, the shortcomings of this toy. Now, quality control aside, because most of these toys were loose as fuck. His propellers are still loose. The only reason they're not flopping because that's there. It's blocking it and it's keeping it locked in rather nicely. This figure suffers a ton of issues if I ever talk about these guys individually. No, I'll go full in depth. Him and him had the worst quality control. A little bit of him, just his hips. But him, my god, loose thigh swivel, still loose waist swivel. And I'm not going to show it off here. Loose ball joints to the shoulders. Loose ball joints, loose ball joints. Flaps on the bottom are a bit loose. Because I bought Alpha Bravo, like I demonstrated. Now, these flaps on my blades, if I didn't modify them, they would constantly go down. I want to see if he does it. No, he doesn't do it. He stays solid. Anyways. Let's talk about this. Alright, now one of the biggest issues, let's see if I can get it in camera. As you can see, it looks like it's tabbed in, and I think it is. No, it's not tabbed in. Now, on mine, it's really hard to tab in. Alright, I think I tabbed it in. Yeah, I tabbed it in. Right. But the ratchet joints and hotspot shoulders are so loose that those move it instead of the shoulder, the combiner port right there. So because of that, it messes up the chest completely, both sides. Now I've seen a couple of reviews where this has happened to other people where the ratchets, this one was slightly better, but it still suffers the same issue. I notch it and it starts getting locked into place. Over time the back doesn't really tab in. Now it's not sinful like the Menasor, you know, these aren't integral. You could just pull these out the way and there'd be no issue. Actually, it fills in the gaps really nicely. As long as you don't look at them from the side, it's alright. Now, as you can see, he's having a hard time standing now. Because too much fucking weight makes him topple over forward. Alright, there we go. Let's see. If I do the same thing on this leg. Oh no, wait, no, it was just loose some hips. Anyways, you got visible combiner ports. Modifications in a different configuration could fix that, so it's not really a big thing. More problem with first aid, this gap just does not close. It's really weird because there's 3 tabs in there to make sure it stays secure, but it just doesn't stay secure. See, 3, but they're on the bottom, so there's no love for the top. So the top, there will always be a gap on mine. I don't know if it's a common thing. Another thing, because you do that stupid thing with the elbows, you wear out the elbows. Doing so, you make it loose. But another thing, trying to get it camera. Fuck. There seems to be a bit of. Not sure if it's come across the camera, but it seems to pop out. Initially started like tight, where these things were collapsed more inward. But over time, it stops doing that. And Hotspot eventually stops holding those guns because I'm guessing they wear out. Trying to get it to focus. There you go. And the biggest sin this toy commits is the hips. After multiple transformations, kind of wiggling, this happens. And like others, he can't stand like that. Like I said, feet don't provide stability, so yeah. Overall, it's a bit of a failure. 6 out of 10. Individual robot modes may vary. Anyways, that's what I think of him. It's very disappointing. I don't go third party, so I'm still a minor. So grades aren't good, so I can't make the transition to third party because you need some serious dough for that. And either way, I don't like most of these stacks third party. There's a couple good ones out there, I'll admit. But I just like the Hasbro stuff because it looks good. Look at that whirl. I like the whirl. It looks good. The Wheeljack. He just fucked him up, but it's pretty good looking. Springer, Real Shield Jazz. Debatably these two. Hoist. Not Hoist. Trex. Warpath. Quality figures. Commodores just fucking sucks. Now, I like the individual robot modes. This is just a gimmick. This isn't how I'm going to display them. I like each of their individual robot modes. Overall, the line gets a 5 out of 10. Some good molds, but they're mostly ruined because of quality control and laziness. And toys that just don't hold up. I have Superion. Loose-ass hips now. I have Cyclonus, loose as hips, straight out of the box. Him, everything's wrong with him. No one likes him. I like the aesthetics of it, I just don't like its functionality as a combiner. If you're a child and somehow watching this video, just save your money. Buy something cool. Or just don't play with it too much. That's something you should never say about a toy. Don't play with it too much. If you're alright with it, go ahead. I'm not knocking you down for it. I like it still. It suffers a ton of issues though. Anyways, that's it. I'm done. Still like the individual bots though.